We hear unmuted.
Okay, we're unmuted.
We can not vote.
Okay. I'm calling to order the 7/20/26 KSBC meeting. We will take a roll call vote. Pat? Catching him off guard. I'll come back. Sean?
Here.
John?
Yes, here.
Chris?
Here.
Kirk's not here. Ed?
Here.
Craig?
Here.
Nancy? Here. Carla? Here. Quick review of the agenda. We're gonna start off with public comment. We will have liaison reports. We are going to introduce our GC, our general contractor, and then Colliers will do a financial review. We'll go over invoices, commitments, and then schedule review. And then we'll talk about approval of prior meeting minutes and follow up KSBC and XLP meetings. So we will start off with public comment.
Hi, how are you?
Laura, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I had a question, if that's okay.
Yeah,
Okay, the last meeting minutes or the last agenda that was posted on Reading Recap, I was kind of looking at that. And you guys talked about parking alternatives 1 and 2. Could you tell me what, in general, what that was about? What that meant?
oh, I wonder if she's talking about the paving. The paving,
The staff
Laura?
parking or?
I don't know,
Hey,
it said parking alternatives 1 and 2.
In the next phase.
I think so. Okay, or is she talking about bid alternates?
No.
That wasn't parking, that was not parking.
She says on the last agenda.
Hold on, Laura.
Well, it's on the red recap. What's on?
If it's talking about parking,
Yeah.
it's probably, if I'm gonna remember correctly, it is staff parking and contractor parking, right?
Okay,
And we could be talking about, we have 2 different phases. Phase 1 is building the new building, simplifying it. Phase 2 is when we're demolishing and the existing building.
okay, so it was staff and contracting, it wasn't parent.
No,
Okay,
there will be no parent parking on the site starting in phase 2. But basically for phase 1, there won't be any changes to parking, so to speak.
okay. That helps, thanks. I
Yeah,
couldn't
it's
quite
not-
tell from that.
Yeah, it's not gonna affect you until we repave. We're gonna be repaving Haverhill and Charles Street.
Okay, and that's in phase 2.
Potentially.
I think Haverhill might be part
Yeah,
and parcel with phase 1 because they're kind of on the same side of the site, and then Charles Street
Okay.
will follow with package 2. I'm not gonna put you in the spot on that just yet.
the contractor is gonna make that decision when they come up with their sequencing. The site.
All right,
Alright.
that helps, thanks. And the
You're
second question I had to do with the announcement this week about the town getting $100,000 in funding for school-based capital. Is
Okay.
there any thought or discussion, or could that funding go to offset this project costs?
That probably is going to the school committee, so you can ask them if they wanna give it to us, we'll take it.
Okay, but this isn't something that you would request or anything? It would have to go, it'd originate at school committee?
Most likely, somebody requested that money, so.
Yeah, I believe that's an earmark, and it's typically earmarked for a particular cause. So we can't point it at a different cost.
Okay, because it just said capital improvement. It didn't say anything other than that. Okay, I can ask.
Where do you mind if I ask where you saw that? Because I don't recall anything breaking this week that was $100,000 coming to school committee.
On the town's Facebook page and
Yep,
Reading
we issued,
Recap's Facebook page.
John, we issued a press release last week
Yeah,
and we, it's been picked up by a couple of places.
Jane, is it the earmarks? Is that what it was?
It's the earmark, that's
Yeah,
correct.
okay, all right.
earmarked
Usually
for
the-
what?
It's something capital, on the capital side for the school department, it's not specified in the legislation. Usually earmarks are specified for a particular small capital purchase. So $100,000 for the school department for something they're planning to replace or purchase to improve their current curriculum and offerings. That's typically what the earmark would go for, Laura. Like on the town side, our earmark, there's a $25,000 earmark and a $50,000 earmark, and those are for a van for elderly.
Yeah, I remember
So-
that. And you did get back to me with that question. So I appreciate that. So I asked the school committee basically about the 100,000 in terms of the specifics.
I think you have, because Mr. Brandt is on the school committee.
Yeah, I'll follow up with you on the specifics. I'm
Okay.
the chair of the school committee, so let me run
Alright.
down, let me refresh my
Yeah.
memory on what it is that's earmarked for, and I'll
Because
follow up.
this would be a really good capital project for that money to go to lessen the town's debt.
Yeah,
I mean, it really is.
no, no, I don't disagree. I do think that there was a specific like equipment replacement, and I'm trying to refresh my memory on what it
Okay.
was.
All right, if you could get back to me, that'd be
Yeah,
great.
I
I
will,
appreciate it.
absolutely. Yep.
Thank you very much, guys. I appreciate your time.
Welcome. Any other public comment? KSBC committee members, any liaison reports? Right. And we,
Carla, do you want me to jump in on a couple of pieces on the school end?
you go ahead, Lindsay.
Okay. It might come up in a little bit in conversation, but a few things that I just want the committee to be supportive in helping with moving forward. The fence posts are up. Carla and Mike, I know, have talked about it today. I do want to just double check that the fire department is on board with the current phasing, what it looks like, and understanding for drills, especially in the fall, that we're using different egresses, and some of the classrooms do not have a outside exit. So I don't know, Carla, when we can do that, maybe with the traffic meeting, but I do want to make sure they're getting on board with that part of that. And we talked about it at our construction meeting last week, but I am a little weary of having enough parking for back to school. So I think with the team, just making sure that the timelines moving forward, we have parking spots. With the trailers, we originally had said they would be close to Sawtell, closer to the maintenance driveway and on the grassy area. And then there was later conversation that they're moved closer to, they're in the parking lot where staff park. So I don't, with construction parking, I don't know where staff are going to have, if they're going to have enough space in the upcoming weeks.
So Lindsay, just on both of those items, the fire department was, that logistics plan was reviewed with them. We certainly can do it again, but I think that they were comfortable with that. I think the classroom sizes are small enough that they don't need two means of egress, things of that nature. So, but we can certainly review that again. And then as far as the parking goes, the number of spots that we've taken away, we're adding that same number back in the Leprechaun Forest prior to you coming back to school in September. So you're gonna have those same spots. So as long as the number you had isn't going up, you should be good. I think we're taking 12 and we're adding, I don't remember the exact number, but
It's more
we
than
did
12
coordinate.
now, though, because if it was 12 to start with, but now it would be double that because construction would be parking beyond the trailers. So I believe it's like 34. So I just want to make sure. I feel like some of it, we're saying it in some of the meetings, but I'm not 100% feeling confident that it's going to happen. Same thing like fire, for example. That's great if they said that, but I'm the one that is telling teachers on the first day of school emergency procedures, so I have to make sure like I also know the plan so that they effectively know the plan.
Lindsay, you want me to set up a meeting with the chief, the deputy chief?
I think in August, as it gets closer, that will be important.
I could send an update. They wanna, planning the fire wanna meet with PCT. Killam project. So I did send an invite, so.
That's the first thing that's going to come up with families. They're going to ask, safety protocols. If there was something in that doorway, what's the plan? So I want to make sure we're prepared, not, scrambling the week or two before school starts.
So, totally, yeah, so we are gonna follow up with that parking issue and the fence issue with, and if we have to circle back with, fire department, we will. Well, we hear you.
Thank you.
Anybody else for, liaison reports? Okay. We are going to introduce our general contractor.
All right, so everybody, sitting to my right tonight is TJ Dolly. He is with Brave Builders. He's the project executive for them, and we're happy to have him on board. TJ and I have worked together in the past in Haverhill and a little bit in Webster. Yeah. But he's here, so thanks for letting him see everybody up there on the screen. So we've got a couple of members, so just going from left to right and top to bottom. Lindsay is our principal, First, Sean Brandt is building committee member, but also school committee. Spring Stepler is building committee, and Ross is building committee and finance. And then David is with LBA, and Jenny is with LBA, and Pat is the building committee vice chair. Then Phil, this is
Finance
Business.
for the schools.
Yeah.
finance for the schools, okay.
Yeah, wonderful. So nice to meet all you guys online and everybody here. So I'm TJ Dayhill. I'm a project executive with Brave Builders, but for this particular project, I'll be the project manager. So I'll be your point person for everything and anything. We have a good team coming out here. We've got Steve Quealy, gonna be the general super. We will start to see him out here full time, probably right now. He was out there today as we get going with the fence. And so our presence on site will be full-time moving forward today. Jared Hill is the APM on the project, so I know the LBA crew has been interacting with him a ton. And then as we move into September, October, we're gonna bring in another young man, Eric, last name escapes me, but he's up in Haverhill pushing some summer work for us. Great young man. He's got a ton of knowledge and he's gonna support Steve at the assistant super level. And then we always have, anytime if we really are into something big and we need Bob Braid, the CEO, or Caitlin Johnson, our company president, always willing to step in and solve problems. Like I said, really looking forward to it. We've been maybe a little bit slower to get going than I would hope, but trying to make sure that we check all the boxes and get everything ready here. So gonna see a lot of movement starting up here pretty soon. We got our soil management plan in for review. We're waiting on our arborist report. We're gearing up to start that temporary parking. We'll have some meetings coming up in the next couple of weeks. So, and LBA has been great so far. Awesome response time. We're diving into the drawings. Drawing set looks great. We got a nice little project on our hands and we're looking forward to being a part of it.
What's the name of the super again? I didn't get it.
His name's Steve Quealy.
And I'll apologize if Carl had asked me to have Charlie, our site representative, here tonight, and I was so focused on TJ and being away on vacation that I forgot to invite Charlie. So he'll be here at the next meeting, but just so everybody knows, Charlie has been working on the Haverhill Constantino School for the last 2 years for us with TJ and pretty much the entire team that we're talking about. So they've been working together. They have a history. They have a good relationship already, and that job is looking great. I actually went for the groundbreaking about a month and a half ago.
Yeah, ribbon cutting, yep.
And sorry, the ribbon cutting, not the groundbreaking, ribbon cutting. And it's a really fabulous school. They did a great job up there. Looking forward to the same quality here.
Yeah, I didn't think the world of Charlie Knapp was a great clerk. Getting great for you guys.
So other than that, trailers are showing up, fence going up.
Yeah, trailers are there. Surveying and the work has been done. Quarries are coming in fast and furious through Kate, so we're processing those through the appropriate channels. Fencing is going up now. Some erosion control is in place. Once the fencing is up, the remainder of the erosion control will be set in place. We'll look to set up, next steps will be getting together with DPW and everybody to just make sure everybody's comfortable with that. We've got our environmental protections in place, all of our EPA and NIPD's permit applications are in, so we have those appropriate numbers. The building permit application has been filed. I know that there's been, even today, there's some back and forth about additional documents. LBA has been great about cascading that over wherever we need. I know Steve is gonna make some time this week to go down and just meet in person with your building commissioner and just see where we're at so we can get going on that. I think we'll be in good shape if we have to get to a point where we've got to look into a foundation permit or something like that and get going, and we'll take those steps.
And then not to get too far down the path, but I think you said steel before the winter, like starting at these people.
Right now, the steel date that we have locked up is October, either 15th or 21st. So we're kind of, right now, everything that we're backing into is based on that date. Fingers crossed, we're not gonna hit anything terrible in that soil, and we're gonna be able to just cut that stuff down, get it all out of there, bring the building pad up and go. A big part of that's gonna be the soil management plan, which, again, we just got that from our subcontractor last week. Got it over to LBA and their group. I know they're cascading that through their people. We'll probably try to meet on that once everybody's had an appropriate amount of time to review it. Get it out, get the town's LSP involved, so that when we do get everything approved and start putting shovel in the ground, we've got all the right, material shipping records and everything else that we're gonna need, ready to go.
I'm noticing we have 19 people on.
Yep.
Can you toggle through the next view of people?
When do you have to have your schedule up and running, TJ?
In my only thing,
I hope to
I
submit
can show.
a preliminary schedule tomorrow.
Okay.
For everyone review. It will not be the full CDM schedule.
The foundations and stuff like
It'll have the foundation and the front end stuff will be pretty well detailed.
that.
And then it'll be probably another 4 weeks before my consultant wraps up her CPM schedule that we can really put into review and then start to. That's gonna be our baseline that we update every month for progress and get submitted with our rec. I think I was gonna mention it, Justin earlier, we also tomorrow be submitting over our large milestone schedule of values, our cash flow projection, and our MSBA breakdown. So that'll come over tomorrow for the team to look at. And then we'll start backfilling very quickly some of our subcontractor schedule of values along with that for, LBA and Colliers to look at.
I guess the only one we have on there that we haven't introduced yet is Joe Huggins, who's our Director of Facilities, Kevin Kabuzzi, Assistant Director, and then Sharon Engstrom, who I think you, I think
The
he's
CFO.
Yeah, CFO. Right, now we can see everybody on the screen. Perfect.
Sharon's looking for that cash.
Yes, Sharon is looking for the cash flow.
I don't know if you
And
heard of
I
Sharon.
hear about it a lot, so I emailed Justin, how about that cash flow?
We're our project controller, so I mentioned Bob and Kate and like the field team and the project team, but we'll also be supported by Kelly Lapworth. She's gonna be our project controller for this. She gets back from vacation tomorrow, and she promised me she'd have kind of those items wrapped up for me, so you'll see that tomorrow. We also have Todd Bestick, who's our CFO, and Todd is in the weeds of every project, and so we have a great supporting staff behind us up at the office as well for everything admin, finance.
Right, I have every confidence.
And that cash flow is also then tied up to a schedule that he's still kind of working through the details as well. Yeah.
It's critical. We know, we had talked about the cash flow during the project kickoff. It's critical because we're having conversations in the community about the FY 28 budget and much larger issues beyond the Killam School project. But these cash flows help us understand when we're going to be doing our borrowing and understanding how we're going to be doing our second tranche of debt for these big projects is tying into all kinds of assumptions and projections that we're putting together. So your cash flow It's super critical. And that's why we're asking for it.
Do we have an estimate on when the cash flow will be ready?
Tomorrow.
Okay. That's good.
And then, and I would also offer this too, so like, we are going to take, like, right now, we're gonna build that cash flow off of our current schedule of values and what we have on the contract to date and where our schedule is right now. And as we move forward, I think the hope is that we're gonna kind of accelerate progress. And as that cash flow needs and sort of updating, we're always happy to update it for what actuals are and, you know, progressing it based on that, how the schedule, you know, is gonna unfold.
So when we get his cash flow, it's gonna be part of the overall bigger cash flow with all of ours. We put the contingencies and everything in there. And the important thing, Sharon, again, we're happy to have a meeting with you separately, but the important thing to understand there, what he just said about acceleration is great. I see that with Braid all the time, but accelerations means we can get a little bit ahead on the schedule. But that also means we're getting ahead on the payments. And so that's the part that, you know, Sharon, we're happy to work with you, but I think the contingencies that we have built in there and everything will set us up properly for that.
And I apologize, I missed Dylan Brown from LBA.
Yeah, so, yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
Dylan and David and I were meeting every week, you know, as part of the OAC, so I know those guys are great.
I missed Chris too. Chris Haley, sorry.
Yeah,
Chris
you missed
Haley.
me too, Carla. No big deal. All
Chris
right.
Haley, select board as well.
Nice to meet you all.
I'm the quiet one.
It says 18 and it says 19. So down 18, okay. I think I got everybody.
Can I go back and ask one question as I'm
Sure.
thinking here? I promise you I never talk this much. I'm usually quiet. Do we have a tree hearing for that area scheduled, or has the tree hearing already occurred for those trees?
We've already had the tree warden out to review it and we based the documents off of it, his recommendations, requirements.
Yeah.
We're not,
Required a hearing.
yeah, no hearing. We haven't been asked to have a hearing, or we weren't told that we needed one.
Okay.
So
Do you think that there will be some public requests? I think there might be.
Based on the website's chapter 87 on tree law, yes. But that's just me Googling things and researching as we're sitting here talking.
I'll follow up with the tree.
I just want to be cautious of, I don't want last minute for us to be ready to make that parking lot and then we're speaking for the trees and not able to do that.
Fair.
On our end, I know that like there is a big spec section, tree protection, and right now our site contractor has engaged a certified arborist who's coming up with a tree protection plan that is going to mimic what is in the contract documents, which I imagine has been run through your tree ward and everything. My hope is that what they present to you, you will submit that formally, and then we would request that the tree warden come out, review the documents and bless our plan, and we'll implement that protection, and then we'll go after the temporary parking area.
I do know Mike has been out recently checking trees again. He's repeatedly been on the property. I just think that second part, it still says it needs to be publicly posted. I just sent it to you.
Thank you.
So the only other thing I'll say on TJ, we invite Braid to this meeting. We'll invite them all the time, but we don't usually require it. If there's a specific instance that we want to have a discussion that we'd like to have them be a part of, we'll certainly make that request. But just in general, I don't typically expect that they will be here regularly, but if there's a request from the committee or something like that, we can certainly do that. But it's not, like I said, it's just not typical that we have to. But what we will do is, as construction gets going, we may consider requesting to have a meeting at the school maybe and do a site walk, you know, before the meeting or after the meeting or something like that. That's what we tend to see is fruitful. So you'll be able to see him and his team out there, you know, during that. And if we can't have the meeting at the school because of cameras or something like that, we can always have a site walk and then come back here or something. It's only 2 miles down the road. Just so that everybody knows that I appreciated TJ coming tonight and getting an introduction here, but I don't want people to anticipate that they'll be seeing him regularly unless he gets bored and wants to swing by.
I hope things go so well, you guys never need my presence at this meeting.
Well, nice having you do a construction update. That was the first official construction update, first of many.
I know I've sent this to you in our initial meeting, but we as a committee are so thrilled with our OPM, with our designer, with the reputation that comes from your company, and we are looking forward to having you part of the team and working with you on the project.
Likewise, looking forward to being part of the team.
Any questions from the committee? Super. You're free to go.
Right.
Free to go. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, Justin, thanks guys.
Thank you.
Cash flow tomorrow.
Yeah,
He said it.
that's right.
He said it, you heard him.
I heard it,
See you
on the
guys.
record. Thank you.
Perfect.
Budget.
Yep.
Right. All right, so construction, now that we officially have Brayt on board, you'll see we have some committed costs against our construction budget. So right now we're showing the $76,681,407 in the committed column for the Brayt contract. We do have an expenditure for our construction budget. You'll see that invoicing. That's, I believe, our builder's risk policy. But I'll review that when we get into invoices.
And that construction value also includes the switchgear too, right?
Yep.
Just so people are looking at it, it's not gonna line up exactly with the contract.
Yep. So for architectural engineering, we have expended to date 6.9 million with a balance of 3.9, almost 4 million left. For administrative costs, expended to date, we have 2.6 million with a balance of 5.8 million. And then we have our FF&E budget of 3.1 million. And we do have our project total down below, which is going to change a little bit after some further review of numbers and budgets.
Do you want to talk about the bid savings now?
I didn't want to highlight it, but next meeting, I think we'll probably make that decision as far as the bid savings. How we'll move forward, with how that's gonna line up.
So right now, the bid savings are not shown, right? That we haven't dropped anything. And so you're still seeing the full project value there.
And the process for that with MSBA looks refreshing.
So what we're gonna ask you to vote on next time is we're gonna have bid savings. So we're gonna do an updated or an amendment to the 3011 form to the project funding agreement. And in that amendment, the MSBA is gonna take their share back. So whatever they're gonna go through and recalculate, they're literally gonna plug in the new construction value and recalculate all the ineligible costs and the eligible costs and everything, and then see where everything falls at the bottom. And whatever part of is theirs, they're gonna say, we're gonna take our share back. Standard process with the MSBA. They're then going to ask us, what do you want to do with your share of the savings? And there's the three answers are, we'll give all of it back now, we'll give none of it back now, or we'll give some portion of it back now. My recommendation is not to give it all back now. My recommendation would be to keep it all right now. If that's not the desire of the committee, if the committee only wants to keep a portion, you certainly can. I always say, I'd rather have the funds there and available if and when we need them. We can always give them back later. Just because they're there doesn't mean we're gonna spend them. And I know Pat, for example, was a little concerned when we had the original $101 million budget on the construction that, if you have the budget there, you might spend it. But I think we as a group have proven that we can toe the line. Even if the budget's 101 million, we designed towards a 91 million budget because that's where we ended up. And obviously the construction value came in quite less than that. So I think, I would recommend keeping it all in there, but it's certainly with the value you're talking about, if somebody wanted to propose a certain amount of keeping and a certain amount of taking back or something like that, again, it's your call.
I think we discussed this last meeting.
We discussed it last meeting and I think we wanted to give you a little bit more time to think about it, and we've had some discussion with the MSBA
The
and
consensus last meeting was that we should not keep it all. We should go. So I think that was the consensus. I would strongly object to keeping it all in there because that's taxpayers' money. It's not our money. It's town people's money. They deserve to get it back to as much as they can. With the caveat that we have to be prudent. But we can't keep it all. It's bad policy to keep it all. It's bad image to keep it all. And it's bad financial planning to keep it all. It's not our money. We have to keep that in mind. It's not our money.
like I said, just because you have the money, that doesn't mean you're spending.
Yes, and it's not our money to give back. It should be automatically given back to a certain extent because it's not us. It's not our money to decide. It's not that. It's our cash. It's the people's cash.
Right, and John, we won't be taking, when we actually go for the financing, we're not gonna be taking that whole amount. We're only gonna be taking what we need, but I agree with you that it's. We shouldn't have all that extra
We
in
shouldn't.
there, right? We should have some of it back, but we, just so people are clear, we're not gonna actually take that full amount, so the taxpayers won't pay. on the
No,
full
we should be confident
Yes.
enough in our management abilities to not have to keep it all. I mean, that's just the coward's way out.
Right. So the next meeting will make that decision.
Good.
Yeah. Or we'll take a vote.
So next meeting, the budget will still reflect the values that we have right now, and then we'll take a vote, and then the meeting after that will be reflected in the budget.
Yes.
When is the PFA due back? When do we have to give our portion of the document back to that MSBA?
I think the official timeline is towards the end of August, but I think we're gonna do well in advance of that. Just so you know, just because we give it to them in August doesn't mean turn it right. They take a while on their side.
They don't just pop it right back.
We have no budget transfers for this month. And we have a few expenditures. One's from Harrington Heat, which is the town's legal counsel. Cabot Risk Strategies, which is the builder's risk policy. David Delaire, the writing clerk, and then Colliers and LBA. And I put the total over here, Nancy, so you don't have to, we don't have to do the math anymore.
Okay, good. I was already going through there trying to do the math.
She's already done the math.
All right. Are we ready? Are these are commitments or are these actually?
These are invoices.
All right. Ready for the motions? Please, okay. Move to accept and pay Harrington Heat LLP invoice number 3223 for $2,800. Legal fees, potential bid protest.
Second,
Second by John. Any discussion? Gonna vote, Pat,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
John,
yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
and Carla, yes. That passes, thank you.
Okay, move to accept and pay the invoice from Cabot Risk Strategies LLC for $145,782. This is for new builders risk.
Second,
Seconded by John, any discussion? Going to the vote, Pat,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
John,
yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
and Nancy,
Yes.
and Carla, yes, and that passes, thank you.
Move to accept and pay the invoice from David Delaire for $1,275, invoice number DDCOW06.
Second,
Seconded by John, any discussion? Pat,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
John,
yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
and Carla, yes, passes, thank you.
Move to accept and pay invoice number 1192583 from Colliers Project Leaders for $71,356.50.
Second,
Seconded by John, any discussion? Pat,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
And Carla, yes, that passes.
And then move to accept and pay invoice number 24002 from Lavalier Rosenberg, ex-LBA, for $141,874.10.
Second.
Seconded by John. Any discussion? Pat?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
And Carla, yes, that passes. Thank you.
Straight, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Right, and I believe we have 3 commitments. This is just the Harrington Heat invoice amount. I think the town has a house doctor contractor. Yeah, so this would just be a value applied, just as a commitment for the budget, and then we have the builder's risk, which I know we voted to approve the town to carry the builder's risk a few meetings ago, but this would just be to vote for the commitment value to be applied to the budget. And then we have the contract that we've approved for Brate for the 76 million. Again, this is just to apply to the budget. So I think these are more votes of acknowledgement than approvals.
All right, do you need a motion?
Yes.
Obviously. Move to accept the committed cost to the budget for Harrington LLP for $2,808.
Second.
Are you gonna one?
Okay, please.
All right. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Do you want to keep going?
Do you want to?
Yep.
John's, I think she's together.
Oh, gather all one, okay. Move to accept Cabot Risk Strategies LLC for $145,782 and Brate Construction for $76,387,825.
Second.
Seconded by John. Any discussion? Seeing none. Pat?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
John?
Yes.
Chris?
Yes.
Ed?
Yes.
Greg?
Yes.
Nancy?
Yes.
And Carla, yes. That passes. Thank you, Nancy. And John. Schedule.
I'll just touch on cash flow. We are trending a little bit below. It's all right. And as promised by Brate, we'll have an updated cash flow. So this will be updated next week with the contractors projections as far as what we're going to be billing out for each requisition moving forward. Like you and I forgot that we actually did this. Vacation. We kind of added a new line to our cash flow graph. The red is where we currently are. We are trending, and then we have our estimated encumbrance, and then the estimated expenditures, and then we also have a baseline. I think we were doing this based on the bid savings.
So I think, yeah, if you look at it, the red line there at the bottom is what we've actually spent to date. The blue line would be your potential cash flow if we gave all the savings back. The yellow line is if we didn't give any savings back, including the MSBA's savings. So that's the original $130 million budget. And then the green line would be if you gave back the MSB, projected MSBA portion only, and you kept the full value of yours. So somewhere between the green and blue is what it sounds like we'll end up. But we wanted to, I think there was some questions on cash flows and stuff, so we tried to expand this a little bit so you can kind of see all 3 of those for now until we make a decision on which one it is.
And I think I've asked you this question before. If we give this money back to the MSBA, if we say, okay, we're just gonna take half of that bid savings, that doesn't affect LBA or Collier's contract amount?
No, it does not.
Right, because you have a set amount, the percentage is a set amount.
When we do the adjustment, the ineligible parts kind of all get recalculated, but they do it based off of the value. So the ineligible portions may be adjusted a little bit, but the contract values don't change. And again, when we show the cash flow here, I'm gonna say showing quote unquote worst case, it's spending all of it. So any one of the yellow line, the green line, it's still showing spending all of those potential values. Doesn't mean we're going to, but that's what you do in a cash balance, you show that you're spending it all.
Greg has his hand up.
Rick?
Yeah, unrelated to the cash flow, but a schedule related question. I was and probably missed it at the appropriate meeting time, but did we end up getting and did we review and approve and release the early switchgear shop drawings? Are they in fab as we speak?
I believe they are. Yes, 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 sir.
Okay. Thank you.
So we'll continue to probably track this until the vote next month this way, if that works for everybody, showing kind of the three tiers, if you will. And Sharon, we can share that information with you as well, the actual numbers that calculate into that graphic. If we haven't already, I think it's probably in the back, right?
All right.
Try to do 3D graphs and different, but this actually was one that was easiest to read. Yeah.
All right, for schedule, I think TJ covered some highlights as far as what's going on around the site. Currently, we issued our notice to proceed. So currently we have people on site doing surveying and lining out where the fence is gonna go. I think TJ mentioned some erosion control. But action is going on and we are on our way. So we'll be working our way through phase 1 and then starting phase 2 come March of 2028, 2028. So we got some work ahead of us.
So if you look at our schedule, we'll have things like moving in and FF&E and things of that nature, but just to remind everybody, we have one line in there that says construction, basically, phase 1 construction. TJ kind of hinted at it already. They're working on a schedule that is probably going to be 2,000 or 3,000 lines long. That will give us all the details. We don't typically try to take their schedule and say merge it into ours or something like that, but we always have their schedule. They give us a 3-week look ahead, which always shows us what's happening over the next 3 weeks in a lot more detail even than their master schedule. Dave Dallaire is seeing that at the weekly meetings as well as us, as well as the design team. We're all going to be keeping an eye on that, making sure that 3-week look ahead actually coordinates with what's actually happening in the field, and that both of those actually coordinate to the master schedule, right? So, that's part of the overall duties for us to make sure that we stay on schedule. I would have said it with TJ in the room, but my experience with Braid is that they tend to beat the schedule. They tend to be a little ahead of the schedule, whenever possible. So, not a bad thing.
Wanted to ask him about geothermal frames. To know how to do those.
I think from what we've heard from them so far, he kind of said it. That's why I asked him about the steel. They've got a commitment from the steel company of when they can start the erection, and that's their milestone right now. So they're driving towards that. So I think they're going to be focusing on the building foundations and stuff like that first, and the geothermal might follow suit after that.
Is the steel coming from Canada?
I believe so.
What's the latest tariff situation?
Right now, I think it's still at 50% tariff. That's what we've seen in Whitman.
Yeah, still, yeah.
Because I said that's an extra cost, right?
Oh, that's
It should be moved, it's because it was there in place when they did.
Okay. Yeah, so whatever was in place at midday is what they own. If it goes up or down from there, then we would make an adjustment up or down from there.
All set.
Mike, can you find out for me the maintenance driveway currently that leads to the trailers? I'm assuming some people will be bringing their cars in that way, as well as construction vehicles we know are coming off of that. Is there signage that they put up that says only construction on that driveway? I only ask because I saw people driving down it today.
So once they have the fence up, there'll actually be gates there.
Okay.
Yeah, so, and the construction personnel will be, if they're parking on site, it will be within the gates, within the construction fence. So they won't be parking anywhere in the they shouldn't be parking in the neighborhoods, they shouldn't be parking on property outside of the fence. So again, that's something that we'll manage along with the break team. That's one of those things that sometimes you have to make an example of somebody, you know, like smoking on the school, you can't smoke on school grounds, and inevitably you have to, you know, kind of kick something off the school grounds, and then nobody smokes for a while.
So in theory, we won't need to do snow removal there.
Within the construction fence, not at all. They'll take care of all their own.
Okay, thank you.
To accept the 6/15/2026 meeting minutes from permanent building committee and Killam School Building.
Second.
Seconded by John. Any discussion? Okay, time for the vote. Pat,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Dawn,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes,
Carla, yes. Just looking ahead at our next meeting is going to be on, August 17th, and then, September 21st and October 19th, November 16th. Day 4 of town meeting, possibly November 16th.
Awesome.
We're gonna have to look at that one for
Yes,
real.
we will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Play it by ear.
So, anything else from anyone? No? Motion?
motion to adjourn.
Second? Second.
Second, yes.
Seconded by John, non-debatable. Pat,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
John,
Yes.
Chris,
Yes.
Ed,
Yes.
Greg,
Yes.
Nancy,
Yes.
Carla. Yes, thanks, everyone. We're adjourned.
Thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Thank
Have a
you.
good one.
Good night.